AaronRThePoet. Now you know it.
Yo, yo, it's AaronRThePoet. Now you all know it. We're finna start this Poetically Correct contest, New Year's edition. I'm so excited to have people in here. We got our first contestant, my man Sam Oliver Poetry, that's gonna come up and start things off. We're really looking forward to this year. It's a brand new year, a brand new start. For those of you that's new to the competition, we're giving away $300 to the first place winner, $100 to the second place winner. So we got a list of people that's coming to the stage. But first, I'm going to bring my man Sam Oliver up here so we can get things started off right. There he is. What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, no. What's going on, bro?
Good to see you again, as always. As always,
Thank you.
You're a regular to this contest, and I appreciate it. You always got some inspiring, thought-provoking words to say, so I can't wait to see what you got today.
Well, I got the same ones as last time because I thought last time they didn't go through to the judges.
Yeah. So, all right, cool. But before we
sorry
get
to
in,
anyone who's seen it last time and it's the same shit again, but
yeah, no, it's all good. Hopefully, we won't have those problems this time either.
yeah.
But before we get into that, this time I want to do things a little bit different. I guess tell everybody where you're from and what projects you're working on and how they can check you out before we get into your piece.
I'm Sam. I'm from Wales. I'm in Cardiff, just outside Cardiff, capital of Wales at the minute. And I've literally today just finished my mixtape. And so once we're finished here, I'm about to put it on the YouTube.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, Samuel Oliver Poetry on Instagram. See my poems and shit, and then you'll be able to see the link for the mixtape as well. I'll stick that on there in a couple hours, hopefully, if all goes well.
You know I'm going to check that out, so... All right, cool. So tell us about the piece you're going to do today or the pieces, and whenever you're ready,
Three pieces. They were bits of work from the last mixtape I made, so yeah, we'll just jump into it. Well, I've been feeling a bit blocked with my writing at the minute because I've been feeling a bit lost in my mind. I try to grip it and hold it still, but it's slipping. It knows my will, but it listens to no one drills a little hole in my head. Doubt and confusion, all I know in my head. Everything that I thought I knew comes pouring out. Now I'm falling too. I try to force it down, but still all I do is question everything. I can't form a view, because I caught a glimpse at the ox's bottom. It was only briefly, but I've not forgotten how everything is one. It's all connected. This airy thing called love is all we're left with if you strip us down and release the ego. I lost mine for 10 minutes and now the seed has been sown. My mind's a mess and I need that freedom, because those 10 minutes, I really need to feel those all the time. They were filled with wonder. So now I walk the path that can bring that oneness, and that path is filled with uncertainty, but the lack of comfort ain't deterring me. I was built for this. I've been yearning, see, for many years now. I'm a determined being. See, the way we live is an absurdity, and I can feel your pain, and it's hurting me. I got a fire burning. This my 3rd degree, but shit, wait till you all see my form. I lost who I was, so now I'm free to form any shape I please. I've been feeling shapeless, so patiently I'll just wait and see where I need to take it for me to make it onto the next. But for me to make it onto pastures greener, I need to find a way to calm the stream of endless thoughts that causes this hard demeanor. When it was seem bizarre, but I'm just stuck in my head is all. I could speak of my pain, but I suffer instead and fall deep into thinking. You can see that I'm sinking. I don't come up for breath at all. So most leave me be. Someone invest a small amount of effort to prize me out, but they try in vain. You won't find me now. I got too much to ponder. I used to go yonder. Now I see the real fruit is beyond the reach of this conceptual mind. To be free of what seems an inseparable tie is not what I'm seeking. You can bet that with time I will not be beaten. I'm expecting to find nothing less than the best that this life can offer me. That's my prophecy. Once my mind is set, there's no stopping me. I mean, that's not quite true, but I often speak these things into existence. It's in my best interest to tinker with bits of the stories I share. got to pave your road before you can walk it. Once I saw that the glory was there for the taking, I ordered them bricks that I carefully dating and forging a trip you wouldn't dare to be making. Order your shit wasn't in its order. Within all the sickness and trauma we live in to form a state of balance is a hell of a feat, but that's where we find stillness. And from there we can seek and reach beyond even what we dare to believe.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, come on. I like that. That was great.
My voice is all a bit croaky. I've had a bit of a sore throat and a bit of a cough. But...
Oh, no, it's all good. It's all good. Anything else you wanted to say about that piece? Or the inspiration?
That was just the time where I was just like, my whole concept of who I was and what I am just completely like flipped around in a whole new perspective. Like when I had that ego death.
Yeah,
I was just lost. Like I woke up one morning and completely lost my sense of self, and it turned into this crazy 10 minutes where plants were waving at me, and I moved the toilet roll without touching it. So that's what that's about.
Hey, that was nice, man. I appreciate that.
Safe, man.
All right, cool. So you got another one, or that's?
Yeah. So immediately as I wake up, I begin judging my thoughts like, oh, that's a good one. That's a bad one. This one can stay. I know I can't have that one. That one's no good. I can't have that running round in my head and then out to the world. What damage will that do if it sprouts and unfurls? I fear starting a habit of negative thinking. I get startled and grab it if there's a bit slipping into the forefront of my mind. I spent too many years building a fortress inside to see it come falling down and never forfeit the kind of thinking I become accustomed to. Optimistic, hopeful, expecting nothing but the best, excited to wake up and coming with the zest the rest cannot summon, breathing, loving with each breath. Anything less than that I do struggle to accept, so I offer my resistance and then suffer the effects, because once the thought has appeared, then it's too late. To resist what is a fool's game. I tried to control the next one, but that too is insane, because where attention goes, energy flows, and what we resist would indeed persist. This life's a paradox with the sleeve of tricks. My mind isn't broken. I don't need it fixed. I need to find where I'm holding, release it bit by bit. I slip, I trip. I do keep going though, find the seeds for release, and I choose to keep sowing those until my struggles fade away and I'll resume the peace I know is so enticing. Till the very next day, then the next problem arises. Line them all up, I'm about to step on them because I is a beast. I like doing that bit, it's funny.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Sam. I appreciate that too. Anything else you want to say about that one?
The mind, man.
Yeah. That's great.
Try and create a little separation. You can just get lost in that world.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And what time is it over there where you are now?
10
p.m. Awesome. All right, cool. So you say you got one last one, or is that it?
I got one last one.
All right, let's get it.
Well, you know, I've been thinking a lot about who I am. And I've never been less sure, but I've never been closer to the truth. As I've been them thoughts I've been holding to for too long now. And I do not doubt every question I start with who, what, how will only lead me to nowhere. The real me is concealed, and believe me, I'm so scared to find the truth. Real seekers are so rare in this time, it's too easy to turn to fear and decline to move with the purpose nearer to beneath the surface and return with a clearer mind to use, because right now, my mind uses me. And that's to a degree that I don't approve of. I can't get with that program. I don't consume lots of pointless shit, but still I focus too long on anything other than the void that sits at my center in peace. Watches it, orders it, enters and leaves. Meanwhile, we tend to believe that the passing drama's the extent of our being. Do we amount to nothing more than doubt-filled, troubled thoughts, trying to figure out how to suffer for a little less time in our days? Wondering how to prolong our decline and decay. I gotta believe that we're more than that. Zen's been telling me to conceive is to keep falling back, to go beyond. We need to see that these thoughts are traps and absorbing that which is deep beneath the fortress that we'll need to breach through release, to feel the formless that forms the backbone of this existence. For now it's back though to this resistance, to letting go of myself being forever prone to seeming set in stone. Until I sever those ties, I know my mind gels. The sober night tells you a lot of things you don't want to know. You being the ego that wants to hold onto the pretty picture it patiently painted since you were a baby, and watched it grow, but it became so inflated and ashamedly brazen. The real you feels like an imposter so out of touch. We've nearly lost our souls. We've gone so rotten, we've got to slow it down. Because it's a sick, sick world that we live in today, and the more we progress, the more we fall back in many different ways. It's a ridiculous age that we're living through, and it pickles my brain if I witness too much of what's going on in this crazy society. The game is being played. It's frustrating, inciting me to walk away, leave it all behind. Retreating to myself until I form the kind, avoided mind as formless as water. Trust me when I say I can't afford to absorb the sort of nonsense that you're chatting about. Don't engage me with that. I might slap your mouth. My time is precious and it's paramount that I make sure every single last breath counts. So excuse me if I won't waste them on you. It's nothing personal. Don't take it as rude, because there's people out there still yearning for me. Shit, leave me alone. I'm busy searching for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam Oliver poetry, y'all. The Sam Oliver poetry. Yes, sir. I appreciate that, man. As usual, you know, you came through. You didn't let me down. I always got to play yours back a few times because I know it's a few things that I missed in there, but you already know. We're gonna make sure that we check out that mixtape of yours.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you know I'll be in touch with you, my man. I appreciate it for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me back again. Thank you for everything you're doing. Hope you enjoy the rest of the contest.
Yes, sir.
Good luck to everyone else.
All right. Sam Oliver poetry, everybody. So, Poetically Correct Contest New Year's edition. We'll keep this going. We'll see y'all later. First place is getting $300. Second place is getting $100. So yeah, that's how we carrying this thing right here. So let me see if I can get Jess in here, and we gonna get bingo. Hey Jess, how are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. So yeah, tell us, I guess, how you got into poetry and where you're from before we get started with your poem today.
I'm from Centerville, Illinois,
Okay.
and I got into poetry about when I was younger. I was very like artistic, so I started to like get into it to express my feelings, and that's how I got into it. And then I ended up joining a poetry club my freshman year of college. I'm a sophomore now.
Okay.
So I ended up joining a poetry club, and it got me more out there. So I started doing open mics, and I did my first open mic recently. And then I did open mic at my school in front of like the whole school. So that was nice too. So that's kind of how I got into it.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, cool. So, what poem or poems are you going to share with us today? And I guess tell us anything about it, like any inspiration or what got you to write it. And then after that, you can just go right into it.
So this poem is titled Numbers and I Love Yous. And it's basically inspired by like long distance relationships. And it was kind of based on like long distance relationships I've seen and the one that I had myself. So
Okay.
that's kind of what this came from. So, okay. I find myself loving you more than the moon loves Earth. In retrospect, we're very similar. The distance between the moon and our Earth is 238,856 miles. The distance between us two tiny beings and a pool of others is 560 miles. I've been on Earth for 6,849 days. I've lived 164,000 hours, 9,858,000 seconds, and no one has made me feel quite like you do. We use the phrase, treat me like glass a lot because we're both afraid to see me truly shatter. But when you fix my cracked edges, it always feels so good. You feel a void that antipsychotics couldn't. You crept your way into a mind that found itself rotting. You made the ups and downs of a disorder less rocky. You stopped my motion sickness, but also broke my heart. To villainize one is to discredit the other because we're both athletes at breaking each other's bones. We're shallow on the inside. We find ourselves jumping into each other to see what we'll find. Emotionally stunted individuals are attempting to love when they have no clear idea of such a thing. Emotionally stunted individuals attempting to love when they have no clear idea of such a thing. When you kiss me, you turn my pain into yours. You have a specialty in being a healer, but it makes me feel oh so bad because no one should be a therapist for free. I remember you yelling at me, let me be your boyfriend, as if letting someone see my broken thoughts wasn't forcing me to stare into a broken mirror at a shattered reflection and self-analyze as if I'm not self-aware enough. I know that people like me don't live to see 27, or that we could indefinitely crash and burn. The teenage love stories all come to an end, but if the good guys never win, what will happen? That's the girl I hate for being everything I aspire. Could love you better. She's your core memories. That I am the Marie to your Malcolm. See, I'm aware that it's impossible, and it's possible that all we have are numbers, and I love yous. My heart beats 1,000 times when I look into your eyes. They're so bright and pretty. I see this light that I haven't seen in years. See, I am not clueless. I know my emotions better than anyone else. I sink into them with tears down my face as I suffocate on this feeling of nothing, as I choke on the present and on the past. Your love is sun-kissed and honey-dipped and blown out by a breath of your careless past. And because of that, I know that we are more than numbers. And I love yous.
That was great, Jess.
Thank you.
That was really good. I like that a lot. Yeah. So that was based on long distance relationship type thing.
Yeah.
That was great. So any other pieces you have for us today?
I have one more, and this one I have to because I'm not good at reading them off, like
That's okay.
remembering them. I have one more, and it's titled "Goddamn Nigga." So this
Okay.
is this one. I refuse to be broken about a goddamn nigga. See, it's crazy. You played me, and then I played myself. I have a habit of being forgiving and forgetful, but I cannot forgive or forget the sins you have displayed on behalf of me. I mean, it's infuriating. I pick anger over sadness. I'd rather beat you up than to beat myself down. I'd rather stump that bitch that you love into the ground than to be moping hopelessly around. I am angry. I have 99 problems and you're one of them. Top 2 and you're not number 2. See, I hate you, and I'm aware that it's a strong word, but it's the only word that can grasp the... Every hour I find myself finding another reason to wait. See, I played it safe. I spoke when spoken to. I kept quiet, and when you belittled me, I found a way to love you through the words. But honestly, that shit's for the fucking birds. Talk to me nice or don't talk to me at all. Because mama didn't raise a bitch, but she did raise a bitch. I am not the nice girl you fell in love with. I am not the girl who wrote you poems. I am a silhouette of all that's left of what you tore down. As you broke my spirit and broke my bones, crackled and popped it, snapped and locked it. You are what I call the devil, fiery as can be. And I should have took heed when you couldn't love me for all that I could be and that I was. I know better now than a man of love who doesn't know how to love. I am not your mother. I am not your father. I cannot make a man out of a boy. I am not a toy. I am not silicone or fake. I'm sorry that everything you were used to was everything I ain't. I never knew that heartbreak could feel like a heartbreak, as if it shattered inside of my chest. I never knew that I wasn't enough for someone who claimed that they loved me. I never knew that men could be so bummy. I never knew that I could be so angry. I am pissed. You're the reason I wasn't single my first year of college. As if the boys didn't look at me as if I was a flower that they wanted to pick from a garden. Like I'm not the girl with a mind you cannot afford and see. As if I did not have the ability to make other women antsy. And I see you cannot handle someone as great as me, but I am angry. Bitch, I am mad. Shit, see, I could use every swear word in the book and it would not equate to the way that I hate you. So yes, I refuse to be broken about a goddamn nigga.
Wow. Yeah. I don't even have to ask you what that one's about, right? So yeah, what do you have coming up, Jess? Or, I can't believe it. You said you just did like open mic.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to do a whole lot more of those because you definitely got some stuff to say and it's really good too. But what are you doing upcoming, or what can people look forward to hearing from you in the future?
If anybody's in the St. Louis area, I do open mics at Word Up. I've started doing open mics at Word Up. And I also made and published a book with some of my poems, and it's titled All the Things Left Unsaid, a book of poetry. And it's on
Awesome.
Amazon and Kindle.
That's great. That's wonderful. So yeah, this is Jess, everybody. I'll make sure that, you know, I get everything uploaded and stuff. I'll fix the little parts where it went out on your sound, so no worries about that. But appreciate you for joining the contest. You did awesome, and it's gonna be a tough decision for our judges, that's for sure. So
Alrighty.
thank you, and everybody else will be back in a few with the next person.
All right, thank you.
There she is. Miss
There we go.
Kiane, how are you?
I'm well. How you guys doing?
Yes, so welcome back. Thank you again. I know you've been here before, and I was just saying how impressive it was last time, so I'm excited to hear what you got in store for us today. But for the people who don't know anything about you or maybe new watching, I guess tell us, you know, where you're from, how you got into poetry, and then what pieces you're going to do or piece.
Sure. Thank you so much. I am excited to be here. My name is Miss Kiane. I'm a poet, and I know it. I am currently hailing from the DMV, the District of Columbia. I'm originally from Queens, New York, but I'm a mutt in a lot of ways. I've lived in several states, and I got roots in Ghana, roots in New York. Got a little Midwest going on, but right now my home, if you will, is DC. And I've been performing poetry probably since the early the 2000s, but I've been writing since I was probably second grade.
Yeah.
And I you know, I may look a little young, but I ain't no young chickadee. So I've been doing it for a little while, and it just kind of evolving over time. Generally speaking, I always tell this little snippet of my story is that I started really writing like poetically or creatively as a way to help me heal and to work through some stuff. Life comes at you hard, fast and hard sometimes, and I began to experience some of that early on in my life, and poetry kind of literally was my counselor, my friend, and it's been that for me. And I share poetry or help to help do workshops and share poetry with a lot of that same concept in mind. Let the poetry be an agent of change, an agent of healing, and uplifting and inspiration and challenge as well. So that's kind of my little quick blurb around my poetry journey. I am going to do a piece today. This piece was actually written last year, but I've only done it. This is my second time sharing it.
All right.
It's called Prepare to Win. Prepare to Win. Unfortunately, I haven't totally set it to memory, so I'll be kind of doing a little glance back and forth here, but hopefully you all will get the message. All right? Yep. Prepare to win. Antics of the antagonist blind spots my tranquility like pelting rain obstructs my visibility. The voice of intimidation sounds like thunder's trepidation. Makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck. That fear bully kind of put me in check. The crack of Satan's whip sounds like the clap of lightning over my head. Promises of light followed by utter darkness. I can't always make sense of this, so I do what I do best. Prepare for the storm. Or you can call it a battle. All I know is that I won't be rattled by false evidence appearing real. I won't face this fight in my feels. I won't run and hide. Instead, I'll prepare to die. Not in defeat, but in bodacious surrender, arms limp but lifted. I render sweet, victorious worship, adorations, appreciations, declarations of who God is. All I have is conversations, exaltations, expectations of who God is. While the storm sounds grow louder, my soul grows quieter, and I go deeper. Deeper like the continental shelf of the ocean floor. Deep like the bass in God's voice. Deep like Jesus sleep at the bottom of the boat in the middle of the storm. I don't know about you, but I'm taking cues from Brother Savior. See, while rain was pouring, thunder rolling, and lightning flashing, the weapon was forming, but he was still resting, never lukewarming or normalizing defeat. Even with his eyes closed, he was studying for the test. So in this precarious in-between place, I'ma do what I do best. Prepare for the storm. Or you can call it a battle. All I know is that I won't be rattled by some dark clouds and weak giants. I won't forfeit the fight. Instead, I'll prepare like an Olympian, eating organically, feasting on the fantastically flavored word of God. The best meal is the first meal of the day. Early in the morning will I rise up and seek him, seeking first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all of this will be added to you. Building faith-filled confidence, pulling from the opulence of victories as young as yesterday. Resistance builds muscle. So I will bench press my fears while I treadmill in faith. This I recall to my mind, therefore I have hope. It's dope when I think about God's mercies towards me, getting dressed meticulously, gearing up with God's impenetrable armor, not one piece missing from head to toe. Supernaturally bionic, I'm standing. Having my loins girded about with truth, the breastplate of righteousness, and my feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, having the helmet of salvation and the word and the sword of the Spirit, but above all, the shield of faith, I'm standing. Doing what I do best, preparing for the test. Or you can call it a battle. All I know is that I won't be rattled by the water, the waves, or the wind. I can only do what I do best. Prepare to win. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, that was wonderful. That was
Thank you
wonderful.
so much.
You
Thank you
also
so
are
much.
one of those artists too who I got to listen to the playback and try to catch some of those things. I caught that fear. I caught fear in there. How you
Yeah, you
did
caught
that?
it,
I
you
got
caught it.
that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I can't wait to do that playback. So tell people what you got going on, Miss Kiane, and how people can contact you.
Oh, awesome. Yes, definitely. I can be, you can find me on all social media platforms at kianeink. It's Kianeink, like Diane with the K. You can find me anywhere on social media platforms. Put that in and I'll come up at some point or juncture. I'm also excited because actually Sunday at 7 p.m. live, streaming live on Facebook as well as streaming live on YouTube at Keep the Mic On. I'll be one of the guests being interviewed. And this show is kind of special because it interviews artists and creatives, but kind of gives you a sneak peek of the artists beyond the art, so to speak, so kind of get to know us. And I'm excited about that. There's a special announcement going to be made on that day, but I'll be the guest that day. And on the 20th, which is next Thursday, I am hosting an online writing session called Do the Right Thing, WRITE. And you can find out more about that on the Instagram. If you go follow me, you'll see that advertisement there as well. Awesome opportunity just to use writing to help you heal, help you become more aware and build some self-love. So follow me, www.kianeink.com or Kianeink on any Instagram, Facebook, Twitter platforms, and you can we can connect.
Yes, and that's awesome. And yeah, always great to hear from you. Appreciate everything you're doing for the poetry community. The legendary Kiane, everybody. So, Miss
Thank you so
Kiane.
much.
Oh, yeah.
Watch out there now. Be careful. I thank you so much,
Nope,
Aaron,
I'm
for
still here. I'm still
you
here. I
got
was
it.
so
You got it.
excited to hear from you. I dropped the phone. So, Poetically Correct contest is going to continue the New Year's edition. And appreciate you, Miss Kiane. And for everybody else, we'll see you with the next person soon.
All right. Take care. Appreciate it.
How y'all like that intro right there? So, India, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from,
Okay.
and what also got you in the poetry.
Okay. I am originally from North Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yes. I've been writing poetry ever since I was a teenager. It's always been a therapeutic outlet for me.
Mm-hmm.
In high school, that was my go-to. So once I figured out that I can resonate with poetry and words, I never look back.
Yeah, yeah, that's wonderful. So tell people how they can get in contact with you, any projects that you're working on.
So if you check my story, I will be performing this month. Check me out. Come show some support. I'm actually working on a book.
Okay.
It should be released this year, entitled Soul Searching. So I'm excited about that.
Awesome. You'll have to keep me posted on that too.
INDEA. Last name is Hoffman. HOFFMAN. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Black genocide. They tell us to stay dangerous. I tell them to kiss my anus. Stuck up middle fingers. What about when they used to hang us from trees? Why you smoke them? These dope dudes help the cause to the hood genocide. Black genocide got more creeps on their side than left eye. Black genocide. Dope fiends and addicts got more popped out veins than acrobatics. I wonder if being black is black genocide. Why can't I write about roses are red and violets are blue, but I'm writing about this black genocide? I wonder if America is going to hell when it had baskets. No need for a casket. I'm just asking. Sleeping Beauty in her sleeping, they still shot her. Who shot you? What about the future of Brianna? Black genocide. Wisdom is in the middle of the street screaming for y'all to get your life rights. Black genocide. The streets is still undefeated, but you think you gon' cheat it? Will you believe it once you're stretched out in them red bleeding? Black genocide. You sow what you reap it. Your whole squad rats, but you eating Cheez-Its. It's more to life than sitting in front of corner stores and dangling doors from telephone poles. I wonder if they know black genocide. It's like living in the hood is the rich man's experiment, and being broke in the hood is his project. This makes sense, black genocide. When you gonna wake up, be black genocide. If hell had a limbo, the hood would be it though. Hit the glass and make a meal without the window. Innuendo. I wonder if they know black genocide. Let's go outside.
That was great. That was great.
Thank
The intro and all of that. So
Thank
that was black genocide, huh?
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So India, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from,
Okay.
and what also got you into poetry.
Okay. I am originally from North Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yes. I've been writing poetry ever since I was a teenager. It's always been a therapeutic outlet for me.
Mm-hmm.
In high school, that was my go-to. So once I figured out that I can resonate with poetry and words, I never look back.
Yeah, yeah, that's wonderful. So tell people how they can get in contact with you, any projects that you're working on.
So if you check my story, I will be performing this month. Check me out. Come show some support. I'm actually working on a book.
Okay.
It should be released this year, entitled Soul Searching. So I'm excited about that.
Awesome. You'll have to keep me posted on that too.
INDEA. Last name is Hoffman. HOFFMAN. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. I love the performance. I love the energy. I'm looking forward to the playback of this too. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yep. All right, everybody. That's it for tonight. And the Poetically Correct Contest New Year's edition will continue tomorrow. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Love the performance. I love the energy. I'm looking forward to the playback of this too. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yep. All right, everybody. That's it for tonight. And the Poetically Correct Contest New Year's edition will continue tomorrow. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Oh, yep, it's on. Awesome. Poetically Correct Contest New Year's edition. Camille.denine, welcome. Good to see you. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks so much for having me. How are you?
Oh, no problem. Thanks for being here. Looking forward to hearing your poetry. So before we begin, I guess tell us a little bit about where you're from and kind of how you got into poetry.
Okay. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Well, I'm
Okay.
from Cincinnati, but I was raised in Atlanta, Georgia. And I got into poetry because I'm a very emotional person. So I needed an outlet for all my very strong emotional things. So
Sure.
when I was a junior in high school, my best friend, her name is Mimi. She is a dope poet. She was just mind blowing to me, and so it made me want to try it out. I've always been a writer. I used to write books, short stories, things like that. So when she was doing poetry, I started getting into poetry, and I was like, "Dang, I'm actually pretty good at this. Let me do this."
Yeah, that's great. So which poem or poems are you going to share with us today? And I guess anything you wanted to say about the inspiration behind it, and then you can just get right into it.
I call this piece is I call it Not Who I Pretend to Be. We just gonna call it that. We just gonna go with that.
Okay.
I'm not the best with names, but we call it Not Who I Pretend to Be, and the inspiration behind this poem is from a situation I had with somebody, and I was upset, and I said some things that I didn't really mean. So that's why I wrote this piece.
Okay. So whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hi, I am Camille, and I'm not who I pretend to be. I claim that I'm strong and okay with being alone, but on most days, my prayer and journaling time gets postponed because today, I just don't feel like feeling. I get booked to do shows where people are impressed by my ability to be vulnerable, but it feels like the same gift that is opening doors for me is cursing me behind closed ones. My heart, while gentle, is guarded, steadily bleeding, it's never healed enough. I know that my presence and exterior seem tough, but I hate this. I never have my shit together. In love, I'm naive, never clever. I talk too much about my feelings. I think everything is my fault too much, not enough walking out my healing. My mouth gets crazy when I feel offended. I know I'm not the one who started it, but I'm damn sure the one who finished it. Then I regret the disrespect because I miss you. I never meant what I said when I dissed you, but you got to understand it firsthand. It felt like a smack in the face. I didn't give you a chance to explain, and later on I found out it wasn't the case, but then you flipped it. Now I'm feeling silly. I never wanted you to see the side of me that you did, but now I'm feeling guilty. Even though I know my words were justified, my words are like sharp knives to your soul, and I know you. So I know that you care about the things that I say. You act like you don't, but there's no way that I'm disconnected to you alone. I know you feel me in spirit. I know when my heart calls out to you, you can hear it. I know we often miss each other at the same exact time, and even though you aren't mine, I feel entitled. I heard that my poetry is better when I'm hurt. I'm concerned that all I'll know is heartache. What if when I'm happy, my words don't hit the same, and the only thing I'll be known for is my pain? I don't want my legacy's foundation to be built on how much I can endure. I don't want to be 40, still on heartbreak tours. I want to be happy in every way that I'm supposed to be. I spend so much time focused on me that I'm concerned I'll make my healing my identity. Who am I outside of my pain? That's the question. It's always been so hard accepting that even though I'm upfront about my flaws, I can still be rejected. My vulnerability really is a blessing, but the process requires my complete and total attention, and some days I don't feel strong enough. Make me whole, I say in my prayers. I ask God to make me whole. Better be sure that when you pray, you're prepared for him to hear you. His presence is personal. I was just looking for some relief from the aching, but I didn't realize that it meant that both people and things were up for the taking. I was just looking for some peace in my situation. Not too proud to beg, I pour my heart out. Never too grown to shed tears, I cry my eyes out. I'm incredibly flawed, and I wonder if anyone would be able to see the beauty in me. I'm sorry I made you feel small. I write you love letters and poems until you forgive me. And I don't care if it looks sweet because no one else is around when it's just you and me. My love language is words of affirmation and I speak it fluently. But talking to you feels like I'm in a foreign land where no one else can understand what I'm saying. And it feels like a special kind of cruelty. I wish our chapter was longer. But every story has a proper beginning, middle, and end. But you and I, we were stuck in the climax. And speaking of every time you touch me, I did that. And since you won't let me talk to you, I hope that you're listening. Missing you was sickening, but your absence is necessary. I won't lie and say I wish you the best. If it isn't with me, I'm too selfish to want you to be happy with anybody but me. I'm not proud of it, but I've always believed in honesty. It's the best policy, no matter how toxic. I never meant for you to get this close to the keys of my heart. You could have unlocked it, but thank God he stopped it right before you made it. Because there was only so much that I could do to keep delaying it. Because when I fall in love, the sky falls and the walls that stood in the way will collapse and shake the earth. My love is an earthquake. Passionate, resilient, and groundbreaking. And it takes a heaven of a man to withstand the heaviness of my heart. I wasn't made, I was sculpted art, placed here to be put on display. I don't create, I suffer from my art. So when you get a piece of me, know that you'll forever be changed. Years ago by, and your spirit will never forget my name. Because when you met me, you got to be a part of history. That in itself is no small victory. I don't know why I'm not who I pretend to be. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. That was wonderful. That was great.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you did that. You did that. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Woo. Yeah. There was a lot in there. I definitely appreciate that. Yes. Yeah. So camille.denine, tell people what are you working on now? How can people find you and follow you?
Well, you can find me on Instagram, all social media at camille.denine. I am currently working on a poetry album. I'm all around the city. I'm in Atlanta. I'm all around the city at all the poetry events, showing my face, making waves, still building up my career. But I'm definitely outside.
Yeah.
I'm definitely outside. So as of right now, I'm working on the poetry album. That's my main focus.
Okay. And yeah, you'll have to keep me posted on that so I can definitely support and things of that nature. So
absolutely.
Whew, yeah, that was a good start. It's the first one. We stepping it up. We getting right to it. I love this. So definitely appreciate you again. And everybody else that's watching, we're gonna have a few more contestants coming up. But that was camille.denine, who was started off the right way today. So
thank you so much.
Yep, and we'll see y'all in a bit.
Okay, bye.
What you eat is not affecting me. Poetically correct because I'm repping me. Arson, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So excited that you joined us again. So I'm excited to hear from you. So I know you pretty well from you being in the last contest and things, but for those who don't know you, I guess give us a little introduction on where you're from and what poetry kind of means to you and how you got started with it.
Sure. Oh man, that's a lot. Well, first of all, I'm Arson from New Jersey. I can answer that part. That part's easy.
That's the easy one.
Poetry, to me, I still think it's weird that people call me the poet, even though I have Arson the Poet as my username. I know that. But it really started for me as a therapeutic thing when I was 16. And then one day my teacher called me writing in my journal and she confiscated the journal and she was like, "You're a really good poet." And I was like, "Is that what I'm doing?" That's cool.
So natural.
I didn't know I was doing that, but I know I loved Poe, so I tried to write like him a lot. Don't judge me. I was 16.
It's okay. No judgment here.
But yeah, so that's how I started. And then from there, I've just evolved. and poetry has just become like my voice. I'm really bad at expressing myself otherwise, so
That's
enjoy.
great, great. So which poem or poems are you going to do for us today?
Okay, wait, let me confirm one thing. I have 10 minutes, right? Or am I wrong?
However long you need.
Oh, okay, because I can make it as short as you need or as long as you like.
Okay. So
So
you can do the long version.
okay. All right. So then I have 3 poems for you. One is probably everybody has heard from me. One is brand spanking new, and the other one I do like sometimes. So
All right, cool.
So I'll start with Verve, which is the one that I'm sure everyone in the whole entire world who has ever seen me perform has heard. So I do this poem always as a way to like hype myself up when I'm in that kind of like low self-confidence mode. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope it gives you that kind of power too. Verve. Been through 2 centuries, alive 3.5 decades. Trust that this resilience is reckless. Unbothered by your antics. I got world peace to achieve. Got a purpose in me to believe. Fought my own struggles. It's my mind that I juggle. Your lack of being unable to see the value of me has no effect on who I be. I'm an antique, a perfect quality. I don't depreciate with time. I grow interest. Interest that encourages my brilliance, of which energy wasted on you was an expense. Not you particularly, just generally. You as an expense. So now I renew it with an incense, smoke you out like a carcass. Your dead weight, whose mannerisms were only irate, mistook you for having depth, but really you were disguising a mind inept. To open your heart, you have to open your soul. That's how you feel whole. That wholeness is my goal, and in this moment it is most attainable. So miss me with that negative. I'll remix that situation to a positive like a DJ at a turntable. Someone once wrote, I'll stop writing when I have no more pain. But what if poetry is my virtue and pain is my gain? Does that mean I never stop writing until the world stops, until my world stops? I accept that I'm an exception, been through the struggles of finding redemption. I'm okay. I keep my critiques at bay since there's no worse critic of me than me every day. I hold myself to that with conviction and contemption. I have standards. I raise my own bar. I don't believe in competition, spreading love like a petition. To quote Talib, I ain't for shitting you now. Why won't I smile when I raise my word every day and keep searching for soul satisfaction like a chain reaction? Beam light against the newest style, cloudy mind getting right. That's the new foresight. I sit in my meditations reflecting, thinking of all those affected. Struggle suddenly turns so casual when the grand schema is so miserable. Humility, that's where my mind is. Peace, that's where my heart is. Solution, that's where my soul is. Unity, that's what the goal is. Vision so clear now you can call me clairvoyant. Looking at the world as it is and seeing that it's love that's amiss. I've been blessed to turn around my stress and use my heart to help dismiss this distress. So now I have a mission. Time to take this new vision and put the hate back in remission. So that's Verve. Okay.
That was great. That was great.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Damn. So this is a new piece, like brand new piece.
Okay.
It's kind of trippy. I'm warning you ahead of time because I've been into like transformation and meditation. Like this has been like apparently the theme of the year. I didn't actually plan it that way. It just happened. So this one is called Mind's Eye, appropriately named. In my mind's eye, I am in a forest surrounded by rich and varied hues of emerald. No life form surrounds me. I am in solace. In my mind's eye, there is peace. It is silence, but it does not consume me. Only to be interrupted by the wind. I am free, but not unhinged. I am grateful. It's an escape from reality. I dream this fantasy as I allow myself a break. I renew. I wake up to an energy shift as I pull myself out of my darkness and make my mind's eye my vision. I know they say pain is suffering. They exclude pain as growth, suffering as strength building, both composites creating pillars to bring out our fortitude, both composites forcing us to endure more than we knew, both composites creating obstacles to allow us to create a greater belief in ourselves. Soul sister, soul brother, soul bestie of all forms, We are more than we can ever imagine. It is now our duty to embrace all that we are. Be evergreen and proud of what we are made of. Because all of us matters, from brain to matter, brain matter to soul matter to atomic matter. We are whoever we say you are. But do we even know the magnitude of who we are? So that's that piece.
Yeah, that was deep there.
Yeah, it's a.
That's good. We getting all sides of you right there.
Yeah, you guys are really getting to know me.
Yeah, right.
And then this is the last piece. I actually wrote this after the death of one of the more recent rappers who had gotten shot, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, wow, his music was really deep, but he was never celebrated when he was alive. So I was like, bro, why don't we get celebrated when we're alive, right?
Right.
So this one's called While I'm Alive.
Okay.
I know, very creative, but I want to be celebrated while I'm alive, because that's when I need to survive. Tell me how I convinced you to take a dive so that I can thrive. Celebrate me with flowers, because being alive is my golden hour. Tell me about my legacy so I know how I am seen when I crave some direction. Regale me with songs and poems about me, because I want to appreciate your artistry in real time. Tell me how much I'm loved so I can live without being lonely. Cry with me, not for me. Give my sadness and my happiness company, because I want to be enjoyed while I'm alive. Because I am not someone who wants to be overlooked until after I die, because I know I'm great while I'm alive. I don't want to be remembered. I want to be recovered. This may seem like a desperate need to feed my narcissism, and that's why assumptions create the most societal cataclysms. Less judgment, more listening. That's how we might save lives. Do you get that business? We get so lost in our demons. We cry for help. Sometimes we need a different angle to find our angels. So we are so absorbed in wanting to be adored, we forget to show it. It's our most desired commodity, yet we treat it like an oddity. They say love solves all, yet we show it the least. Maybe that's why the world lacks peace. So yeah, I want to be celebrated while I'm alive, because I want my world to continuously thrive. I want to be revolutionary and revive love, like the concept is evolutionary. So celebrate me while I'm alive. Celebrate each other so you thrive. And most importantly, celebrate what's around you while you exist in current times so we all can survive. And that's the balance. That's all I got.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Arson.
Thank you.
Tell people, and I know too, like I know I have your book too, so I don't know if you want to plug that or plug anything that you're working on in the future, or how people can find you.
Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. I'm horrible at plugging things, clearly. I'm trying to be better about it, but yes, I do have a book out. The book is not like any of the poems I shared today, but it is a journey about self-love. So if you are overcoming heartbreak, or if you've ever had your heart broken and found yourself more, this book is for you. It's called Introspectrum. There's a link in my bio. I have merch also, and I'm doing open mics once a month, every first Monday of the month. So come through and definitely shoot a shot, shoot a piece, shoot a shot. Don't shoot a shot, shoot a piece. Shoot a shot.
I know. Some of the guy followers gonna be like, "All right, I'm gonna shoot my shot."
I'm gonna be like, "Oh no."
That's so funny. I appreciate your sense of humor as usual, and your pieces too, for sharing. I guess three different sides, yeah, and no problem. And so, we'll be in touch, and everybody out there watching, that's Arson the Poet, and the Poetically Correct contest will continue very soon.
Bye. Thank you.